I'm going to say this as nicely that I think I can say this as possible about this entire game. Sam Ersson fucking stinks. Sam Ersson fucking stinks. Once again, back-to-back games where you blow a multi-goal lead. You blew it against the Buffalo Sabres. You should have won that game. You lost that game in regulation. You had a multiple goal lead twice against the New York Rangers today in Madison Square Garden in a building where the Rangers have been very bad in this year, where they can't score goals. You scored 4 goals against Igor Shesterkin, and you found a way to lose that game because Sam Ersson can't make a save for his damn life. And I'm not going to give a break to the people that were in overtime where you were gifted 2 power plays. 2 4-on-3 power plays and 3-on-3 overtime should be just an automatic you win the game. But nope, not with this Flyers team. Not with this Flyers team. They scored 2 power play goals earlier in the game. That was enough to hit the quota. That was enough to hit their damn quota. Did you see how stationary those power plays were in overtime? They were pathetic. They couldn't do anything. They were too patient. They were too stiff. They couldn't make anything happen on those power plays. No wonder. And then once they got to the shootout, they lost their magic in the shootout. Surprise, surprise. And that's another blown game, and that's another loss. But you could say, oh, it's another point in the standings. Points are important. Points are important. Blah, 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 blah. They've lost 7 of their last 10 games. They've lost 7 of their last 10 games. Yeah, they got in points, and probably half of those. But what do we always say? The inevitable Flyers losing streak near the end of December? And this is a part of the schedule where they need to win games because the quality of competition isn't that good. Well, you played Buffalo on Thursday. You lost. You blew that game. You played the Rangers today. You should have won if it wasn't for fucking Sam Ersson. You get Denver Barkey getting called up for his NHL debut in Madison Square Garden. What a place to make your NHL debut. Dude gets 2 assists. Dude gets 2 points on the day. Good for him. Good for him. But then Sam Ersson, some brutal turnovers as well, resulting in the first goal scored by New York. That put him up 1-0 late in the first period. That was a brutal turnover by Sanheim, and Panarin was just left completely wide open. Just sniped it. Still a save that Sam Ersson needs to make. Completely needs to make. Owen Tippett, when you're up 3-1, I have no idea what the fuck he's even doing in the neutral zone with that pass. Artemi Panarin once again snipes it. Another fucking save that Sam Ersson needs to make. And don't even get me started with the third period goals. Like, for once, he made a big save off of a shot by Trocheck, and then the rebound goes right back to Trocheck, and it squeaks by 5-hole. So you make the hard save, but the easy save just squeaks by your fucking 5-hole. Yeah, it evens out. It evens out with Sam Ersson. And then the power play goal that the Rangers scored in the final 3 minutes thanks to a delay of game by Rasmus Ristolainen. Thanks. One-timer by Mika Zibanejad to tie the game up when Sam Ersson saw the shot the entire way, got himself into the position on the shot, still got beat 5-hole. Still got beat 5-hole. Still got beat 5-hole. Does this team look like a playoff caliber team to you? I know I've been negative a lot this entire season with a lot of my recaps. I try to stay positive with this team. The Flyers aren't good. The Flyers aren't good. The Flyers aren't good. They're not a good team. The reason why they have as many wins as they do is because they won a lot of games in the shootout. Dan Vladar won a lot of games for them, and now Dan Vladar is injured, and we don't know when he's coming back. They say he's day-to-day, but knowing the Flyers, it'll be months. It'll be months. I don't think Dan Vladar is going to play another game until after the Christmas break, if you're even lucky. Because Flyers will say day-to-day, oh, it's not that bad, oh, we don't think it's that bad, blah, 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 blah. It'll turn into 2 months, at least. At least. So, everybody always said, you're a Dan Vladar either regressing to the mean or a Dan Vladar injury away from basically your season collapsing. Oh yeah, with Sam Ersson in net, that'll definitely happen. Oh yeah, with Alexa Kolosov in net, that'll probably fucking happen. Trevor Zegras is also a reason why you've won a lot of games this year. Trevor Zegras still remains good. I don't see that changing whatsoever because Trevor Zegras has been very good for you this year. Gets a goal. I believe he got an assist. No, I think he only got a goal in this game, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he only got a goal in this game. But still, that extends his point streak. So he continues to be fantastic, but that's not enough. That's not enough. Remember how many times the previous few years that the Flyers had a goaltender, they probably would have been a better team? Well, they had Dan Vladar. Now Dan Vladar is injured, and now you had the result of Sam Ersson and fucking Alexei Kolosov. Just be prepared for the losses. Just be prepared for a lot of losses. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. Just be prepared. Just be prepared for a lot of losses. A lot of losses to a lot of these bad teams, because the Flyers aren't that good of a team. They just aren't that good of a team. I'm just being honest. It was fun winning games, but now with they're not going to get Dan Vladar back until after the Christmas break if you're lucky. I'm just pointing that out. Sorry if I sound like I'm poo-pooing on everything, but that's just reality. That's just reality. It's fucking, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. So let's see. Let's go back to this. I want to see this entire month. So they've lost 7 of their last 10. Yeah, that definitely does make sense, because going into this game, they were exactly 3-3-3 this month in 9 games. So if you can combine the overtime losses with the regulation losses, yeah, including this game, yeah, you're 3 for your last 10. You're lost 7 of your last 10. That makes a lot of sense. It's insane. It's insane. This team stinks. The Flyers aren't good. The Flyers aren't good. Now, they probably put themselves in too much of a position to where it's going to be the same as it always is. They're either, and knowing the Flyers still find a way to win games, they'll find a way to be just outside of a playoff spot or barely squeak into the fucking playoffs and miss out on drafting high once again, and then you're back in the same fucking position as you always are. Just are. That's just the way it fucking goes. It's just the way it fucking goes. But your only fucking grace, probably, is that the Eastern Conference, there's so much fucking parity and a long losing streak. Even though you've been on a long losing stretch, you've been getting points, though. That's the fucking problem. On this long losing stretch, maybe it'll shelter you down the standings. Maybe that could be the case, but it still wouldn't be enough. It still wouldn't be enough. Because, once again, they prioritize winning over development, over doing what's right, and it's just... It's crazy. This team stinks. This team stinks. Sam Ersson stinks. Dan Vladar, I don't know when he's coming back. No one knows when he's coming back. Don't trust the Flyers when it comes to injuries, because they said, what was it, Oliver Bonk's injury in preseason? Oh, that was going to be a few days. That went from day to day to week to out for months. Out for months. He is playing down in Lehigh Valley now, but still, that was back in September. What is it, December? And he's finally playing. Tyson Forrester, his injury. Oh, it was going to be maybe 2 months. Maybe 2 months. Has surgeries out for the rest of the year. I don't trust, and with all the fucking Ristolainen injuries, I don't trust this team when it comes to injuries. I don't trust this team when it comes to revealing injury news, because it's always the worst case scenario. Always. And Dvorak's also out day to day. I don't know when Dvorak's fucking coming back. The ceiling might drop on this team. The floor might drop on this team very, very badly, in my personal opinion. And you're losing games that you should be winning. These are games that you should be winning if you're trying to consider yourself a playoff team. That's why I'm being more harsh on them, because you're considering yourself a playoff team. If you're considering yourself a playoff team, you should be beating Buffalo. You should be beating the fucking Rangers. But no, that's not reality, is it? That's not reality. They pictured themselves as a playoff team. They pictured themselves as a team on the rise. No, they should be a team that's drafting in the high part in the lottery again, because they haven't done it enough. Because they don't have enough high draft picks. Because the whole resemblance of their fucking plan was 2026 free agency, and that is completely out the fucking window because everybody resigned. Because nobody hits free agency. So if that was fucking plan A from the entire time, your entire front office needs to be fucking fired if that was the entire crux of the plan, in my personal opinion. Am I overreacting to that part? Probably. But still, the entire crux of your plan can't be free agency. Yeah, I understand a lot of salaries coming off of the fucking books. I do understand that. What are you gonna fucking spend it on? The guys on your roster? Is that it? Because nobody's in the market. The only way that you're going to be able to make any returns of getting a top center or getting a defenseman at this point, you want to hear the only way that they're going to get this, because they're not going to do this. They're not going to do this, by the way, because I don't think they have the balls to do it, in my personal opinion. I don't think the Flyers, I don't think really any team has the balls. Give me a second. I'm putting my phone on the charger because I realized I need to plug it in. I had to plug it in before the Eagles game. The fucking teams don't do this. The Flyers obviously aren't going to do it. The only way that you actually get the talent that you need is offer sheeting teams. That's what you need to do. They're not going to do it, though. They're not going to do it because they're not going to make trades. They don't have enough assets to make trades. You don't have enough prospects to make trades. There's people on the roster that you should be trading. You should be trading a guy like an Owen Tippett. You should be looking to trade a guy like a Bobby Brink. Those are obvious. Those are obvious. But right now they refuse to do that because for some reason they have this goal of making the fucking playoffs when that shouldn't have been the goal at all. But no, you hire another goddamn coach that wants to bring you on a fake playoff run instead of hiring a coach that's going to focus on developing the players. Now, granted, I'm not saying Tocchet's a terrible coach. I'm not saying that. Tocchet has gotten some guys to work in this system. Trevor Zegras has worked very well. York has looked better. Drysdale has looked better. Sanheim looks better. I understand Mitchkov came in out of shape. I understand that. Still got to use him. You still got to use him. I know people hate that fucking topic of Mitchkov and his ice time, but it's the literal truth. It's the literal truth. You got to play him. You got to play him. Now, Barkey, he looked very good in his debut. He looked very good. Got 2 assists. He made some nice passes. Almost scored a couple of times, actually, which I felt bad for him because Shesterkin just robbed him on a couple of plays. He fights. He battles. He wins puck battles. Sees the ice very well. Of course, people are going to knock him because he's small, obviously, because that's what people love to do when they see a small player. They love to knock him because of the height, because of the size. Denver Barkey does deserve to be on the roster after that game. He deserves an extended look, in my personal opinion. Deserves an extended look. That should make people on the roster expendable, in my personal opinion. It should. Yes, you do have a lot of small people on your roster. You do. Adding Barkey to that mix, you have small players. Konechny's small. Brink's small. Zegras is small. Mitchkov is small. Brink's small. Andre's small. You're going to have to make some decisions with those players. Can't keep all of them. I like the way Barkey showed what he can do. And I only feel like, and granted, they are working the same system that they do have with the Flyers in Lehigh Valley, so maybe younger players that do come up will be more accustomed to the system that Tocchet is coaching, so maybe that does benefit some of these younger players that called up from the Phantoms. But it's so frustrating with this team. It really is. Because I just don't think... I just don't get it. It's crazy. It is crazy. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Because I'm going to try to make this recap a little bit shorter just because we do have Eagles later today. Because that game starts in like an hour. Eagles Commanders. So I'm going to try to keep this short. But it's just, this is so frustrating with this team. It really just is. It really is. So after this game, I'm not sure if it's going to tell you. Okay, it actually might have just updated. So let's see. I'm assuming everything is updated right here, so you get a point. You have 41 points on the season. The Rangers have 40. Look at the separation right here. You're tied with the Devils and the Islanders. You're a point ahead of the Rangers. 4 points ahead of Pittsburgh, who looks like now they're starting to lose games. Obviously, they traded off assets, and they're probably going to start losing games now because they're going to start their tank. Just bad. I just don't like the way this team plays, personally. I just don't. Sam Ersson stinks. Sam Ersson stinks. And I just don't understand how you don't score You don't score a goal on 2 power play attempts in overtime. It's crazy. It's funny, but then you got people like fucking Colby Cohen on Twitter trying to take shots at fucking Mitchkov because of, everything. It's crazy. This team stinks. This team stinks. It's as simple as that. So their upcoming games. Obviously, they're back home on Monday against Vancouver. In theory, that should be a win for your team because Vancouver is just complete shit. But knowing with the way this team is playing and the way they don't understand how to hold a lead in the game, any game is going to be tough for them at this point, especially with their goaltending now because you don't know who's going to be starting. I would assume Kolosov is going to start on Sunday, or on Monday, actually. And then they're going to put Sam Ersson against Chicago. I would assume that's going to be the case. So most likely you'll see Kolosov, and then you'll see Sam Ersson in Chicago on the 23rd. And then you get your Christmas break, and then you're on your Western Canadian road trip. Hopefully Dan Vladar is back by then, but I highly doubt it with this team. I really do. Yeah. We do have a voicemail, though. Let's get to the voicemails. We'll cut it short, and then we'll be back for Eagles. So let's get to Sean's call. Let's see what Sean has to say.
So my streaming was goofy all day. I didn't see the second power play that the Flyers had in overtime. And, I missed the early part of the shootout, but that was probably a good thing. I mean, it's ominous for the Flyers when they get to the shootout, and now Trevor Zegras can't score, and now Sam Ersson can't make a save. But this game, yes, it's all on Ersson. I mean, the second Panarin goal is pure garbage. A nothing slap shot from the wing, no screen in front, and it gets by your blocker. The last goal, he's in position to make the save on Zibanejad. He knows what's coming, and the puck goes through him. I mean, if Vladar doesn't play Monday, if Kolosov plays and plays well, I mean, you've got to part ways with this guy. He sucks. And I got to say this in closing, 2 things. Do the Flyers lead the league in goals that deflect off their own player and go in? Every freaking game. Death taxes and goals that hit our forwards, our defensemen, etc., and dribble in the net. And kudos in a loss to Denver Barkey. The kid played well. Hopefully he sticks around. He's one of the